Would help if I turn my mic on. Good evening, everybody. I'm in the process of doing some editing. Okay, got that part. Um, as you can see, I'm still working on this software. I almost had it right, but it is what it is. Uh, Fireman, welcome to the show. Now, as you all know, I had a message on my email today, and the email is a cease and desist order. Now, let's see, two. All right, where is, okay, gonna, for some reason, CD1, okay, that's open. Okay, I want to make sure, 1, 2, 3, all right. This is the first page. Now, Tim and Randy sent me this CDS. They said that I am defaming them. And so it starts out clear enough. If you are represented by legal counsel, please direct this letter to your attorney immediately and have your attorney notify us of such representation immediately. But all they give me is an email. So let me go on with this. We go up to next chapter. Timmy and Randy Holmseth are respected professionals in their community. The Holmseths have years serving the community and building positive relations as child advocates, activists, whistleblowers, and journalists. Now, this next paragraph is interesting. Timmy and Randy Holmseth have learned that you have been engaging in spreading false, destructive, and defamatory rumors about them. Now, my question here is, have these two gotten married, or what is the deal with Randi Holmseth? I thought her name was Randi Lynn Erickson. Somewhere in the memo, we didn't get notification that these two are married. This is interesting. And to be perfectly honest with you, I just noticed this. So, yeah, I guess it would be bigamy. I don't know what they call it when you married twice. I guess it's, when you're still married, you get married. Maybe the divorce is final, and we never got the memo. But next paragraph. Accordingly, we strongly demand that you immediately cease and desist your lawful defamation of Timmy and Randy Holmseth and provide the Holmseth with prompt written assurance within 10 days that you will cease and desist from further defamation of their character and reputation. Now, what is interesting is that nowhere in this letter did they say what the specific definition and what have you was made. This is just a general statement. So, this is rather interesting here. Okay. Until such time that Randi Lynn Erickson, well, now she changed her name back to Erickson, and Timothy Charles Holmseth comply with, okay, this is jumped over, and this is my reply. I'm sorry about that. So let me go back to this a minute. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I thought I had all these unloaded. I'm sorry, folks. All right, let me go. I got to go over into my thing, CD 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for some reason, I'm going to bring up the whole letter in my email file because there's some stuff that's missing. And sheesh. Yeah, I spent a long time getting this thing straightened out, and I guess I didn't do such a good job. So let me go over to my email, and I'll just read the whole damn thing. Okay, nothing new. They have yet to send me any reply to my reply, which I'll read in a minute. In the event you fail to meet this demand, please be advised that Randi and Timmy Holmseth will pursue all legal remedies, including seeking monetary damage, injunctive relief, and in order for you to pay court costs and attorney's fees. Your liability and exposure under such legal action could be considerably. Accordingly, please sign and return the attached defamation settlement agreement within 10 days. Well, the only problem is they didn't attach a settlement agreement to this. Now, I'm going to see if I did anything better when I copied my letter. I got to, okay. Okay, we're back now. Let me go up here. Now, I got to get my reading aid on here. Ooh, boy, these glasses are worse than the. What do I do with my darn glasses? Sloppy is what sloppy does. All right. Okay, we go to reply number 1. Boom. Okay, this is how I started out my reply. I find it ironic that you accuse me that which you have done to me and so many others. You have accused me and others of criminal actions of such a nature that these accusations have caused people who view your various media outlets to threaten physical harm against me and several others. You degrade my reputation in the filthy murk section of the blog that Randi Erickson owns and publishes. Also note that as the owner of this media empire and the source of these accusations of me and others, you are subject to be challenged for making these serious allegations against me and others. I would suggest that you consult your legal representative to discover your liability about these statements that have been made about me. Do note that your latest attacks against me include the inference that I am somehow involved with the finders and with Greg Sawyer, which is patently false. You also misuse my media content without providing your viewers with the direct links to my source material so that they can see the full context rather than a cleverly edited version that distorts the factual nature of the publication. Whew. Sorry about that. Until such time that Randi, Lynn, Erickson, and Timothy Charles Holmseth comply with my demands to cease and desist their defamation harm to my character, I demand that a statement be made that your comments about me are false and that, okay, I messed this one up, about me that fully reject these accusations. I also demand that all content about me be removed immediately. As stated in your cease and desist demand, both Randi Erickson. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of mislabeled some of this. As stated in your cease and desist demand, both Randi, Lynn Erickson, and Timothy Charles Holmseth are public figures. Both claim to have direct contact with former President Trump, Lynn Wood, and other prominent figures. Both turned over material to various law enforcement officials and military representatives, implying that I am a person of interest in a great number of high-profile missing child and murdered children cases. Both have accused me of being involved in satanic ritual groups, human trafficking rings, pedophile groups, and so forth. Randi Lynn Erickson also stated that she intends to visit my residence and stream it live. My residence is in a gated community that has no trespass warnings posted that prohibit unauthorized visitors to my residence. In closing, it is my First Amendment right to defend myself against the actions of Randi Lynn Erickson, owner and publisher of TimothyCharlesHomeseth.com and Timothy Charles Holmseth. It is my right to answer the defamatory content of her media websites as it relates to me and others. Now, again, they did not spell out the exact nature of the defamation. They didn't say what it is I defamed them about. This is a poorly written, generally accusational document. I have consulted I have consulted lawyers, and they have told me that this is not a proper document. Furthermore, they have not stated what jurisdiction that this lawsuit would take place. Is it going to take place in the state of Minnesota or elsewhere? I have the legal right to know what jurisdiction they are going to go to that do these lawsuits. They also have to provide an address so that when I file a counteraction to their lawsuit, I have the ability to have a process server serve them with my counter claim. As of this date, nobody knows where these people live, and thus it is impossible to answer their complaint in the proper form. They have not named a legal counsel that I can reply to. All they want me to do is to reply to their email, which I will not do. I will only reply to either a legal firm or to a proper mailing address to send certified registered mail, and also have a process server present them with my counteraction to this threatened lawsuit. Both Lindy Erickson / Holmseth and Timothy Charles Holmseth have made false and misleading comments about me. They have also used my copyrighted material improperly. The fair use provision provides that any use of copyrighted material must be within context. Links to the copyright material must be included where it is being used, and this has not been done. And so that, now, as an example of what they have said about me, let me see if I didn't download that either. Boy, I really messed up tonight. It's been somewhat of a busy day because I had to go on the phone uh, with my legal counsel to straighten out this mess and to get advice on how I should handle it. And the lawyer told me that until they properly serve me and give me the proper information as to who their legal representation is, that uh, there's nothing that can be done. They also did not send me any so-called agreement to sign. They just ended the letter. So I'm not sure, what to think of this. I've been told that, they apparently don't know how to send a cease and desist because it's, you just don't send somebody a cease and desist in the mail and say, cut it out. There's a process you go through. Of course, these people don't believe. Campicazio is not my legal counsel. I have a law firm that I use in my business, and they have been notified of the lawsuit, and I have been advised accordingly. Campicazio practices family law. She does not practice civil defamation law, as far as I know. Yeah, he needs a new postal meter. All right, I'm going to go back. All right, right now I'm viewing chat on a separate screen, so let me go over into there. I don't know. I've been using a second monitor. All right, let's see where we're at. Well, Kinder Joy seems to think that I have some kind of association with Campicazio based on the statements by both Timothy Charles Holmseth and Randi, Lynn, Erickson / Holmseth. That's the problem here. There is a lot of false information out there. They're sitting there griping to me about all this supposed defamation of them, yet they seem to gloss over the fact that they have made some really bad accusations about me. And what I'm doing right now is I'm going to bring up some of these. And as early as, or as recently as today, these accusations have been have been made. And what I'm going to have to do is I got to download this in a certain way. This is not coming out at all the way I wanted it. I thought I had downloaded all this. Apparently I didn't. So I'm having to download all these files from a storage so that okay. What we got here? And I do welcome everybody to the chat. Let's see. Okay. Image. Not quite sure what happened here. Good evening, Ashley. Welcome to the chat. And defamatory lawsuit or defamatory comments were made about you again today, or on the BitChute. And as soon as I get things keyed up here, let me go back over in the banners. Brand. Okay. Now let's run down here. Okay, let me put this up here while I'm doing this. Because this has been one of these. Because what this does is this. Oh, hush. Oh, now it's going to sit there. I had problems with this file before. But okay, that went through. Okay, now I'm not gonna do these necessarily in order, but I'm let me get back up in the comments. Well, what I'm gonna do is okay, Ashley, what the Delphi murder case is in Delphi, Indiana, I believe it was 2017. Two teenage girls were walking on a railroad bridge, and somebody murdered them. And there was anyway a person of interest in the case. Turned out it was the landowner. He was falsely accused. There is a true crime video that was made by people that excuse me, I got derailed here. Let me get rid of this. And let me go to brand. But yeah, they have claimed they wrote to, but what happened here? See, this is from the Big Shoot blog or Big Shoot live stream channel that is put up. And one thing I'm going to do, I think I'm going to, in order to get a decent background, is I'm going to turn the camera off. Is that's clear instead of seeing me in the background. This is a lot clearer. But they have accused people of being practicing Satanists. Again, they are saying Satanists publicly warning Marion County Sheriff's Office more political assassinations come if demands not met. And we have another one that says Domestic Terror Network announces they are scouring federal courts for sealed arrest warrants, which there are no sealed arrest warrants. Um, this. Okay, I'm just catching up on. Okay. Delphi. Yeah, that's correct. Uh, Now, let me see if I can find these other files. Now, what the high command did is they took a cell phone video that was made by the teenagers on their phone, and they went into this video and they flashed back and forth to me walking up to my camera and the guy on the railroad tracks, inferring that we were one of the same when we are not. And they also put a 1 second audio clip in there as a vignette from me to the walking man, back to me to the walking man. So the inference is that I am the person of interest in that case, and that I am likely the person that went to that town and murdered the girls. Now, this gem was on Twitter. Task Force accused me of making a threat. Now, I made a sarcastic remark that the only good anon is a dead anon. I did not say I was going to kill any of them because, number one, they are anonymous. And number two, I'm not going to go to prison for killing a moron. I made an opinion statement. And then they put up, got the old block ready in case I get unwanted visitors. Now, the key here is unwanted. Apparently, High Command or Task Force, whoever the hell this person is, does not know very much about Florida. We have something down here called the Stand Your Ground Law. And that means if someone enters your property uninvited and you feel your life is in danger, you have the right to stand your ground and deal with the matter accordingly. And there is a very famous case that happened 25 miles from here in Sanford, Florida. And it is anybody that wants to do the case law research, it is the state of Florida versus Zimmerman. Mr. Zimmerman was acquitted of the murder of Trayvon Martin, or if I got the name right, a teenager who was walking around with a hoodie on his head. Unfortunately, he was a resident of the complex, and Mr. George Zimmerman got off scot-free. A lot of people don't agree with that verdict, but unfortunately, the state of Florida passed the Stand Your Ground law, and that means that if someone comes on my property and I feel my safety is in jeopardy, uh, they're going to be taking a dirt nap. Now, I have had death threats on that account over on BitChute. There are people that are calling for my execution. They're calling for me to be castrated. They made all kinds of remarks, and those remarks were a direct result of the postings by the high command. So, And you got the walking man and the talking man, and there I am on my live stream from Blanchard Park, Florida. So they're inferring again that I am somehow involved with that particular murder. And that is defamation of character and slander. Yeah, the problem with BitChute is I went over there and I am flooded with spam. I get all kinds of spam. I get 80 spam notices a day. And I never got that until I went to BitChute. So I would get a VPN if you're going to go over there. I had to switch to a VPN because of the problems that I was having due to that. And it's just, it's just an absolute mess. Okay, now I got to clean up my board. I don't know what happened there, but I'm going to leave that alone. Well, I don't know. It would, in my countersuit that I would make in the event they take a legal action against me, I would file for the identity of the account holders to these particular sites because they are just as liable as Mrs. either Erickson or Holmseth and Holmseth himself for any statements made on these various accounts. And if it's a separate person, then these separate person would have legal action made against them. So the high command and task force, since they like to listen in to this webcast, you are warned that if you initiate a lawsuit against me, I will file a countersuit. And I am also suggesting that if there is anyone else out there who has received a cease and desist order from these individuals, to notify me by email, and there may be a class action lawsuit taken against these individuals because they have made defamatory accusations against Ashley Cooper, Levi Page, Alexander Goddard, and others. And, the lawsuit that was filed against Preacher Dan was a class action lawsuit, and that resulted in a $4.6 million judgment. And so the same thing can be done here. Because I did get an estimate as to how much it's going to cost me if I have to fight this lawsuit, and it is not cheap. I have been told that it would be in the area of $25,000 to $50,000, which is why these S.L.A.P.P lawsuits are filed to begin with, is because they know that the person they're suing cannot afford to counter these lawsuits. And they make these lawsuits in order to intimidate a person into making a settlement. And this is exactly what Tim and Randi are trying to do. They are trying to intimidate me into not talking about them anymore, which, it'd be an easy thing for me to do. And what is funny, when I stop talking about these two and move on to other subjects, they're right there. If you people recall, anybody that tuned into my mobile live stream that I did from downtown Orlando at the federal courthouse, they were right there making a snide remark, even though I was doing a test webcast. So, they will make comments even if nobody's paying attention to them, because this is how they operate. They will not leave people alone. Okay, this is distracting me, so I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, I'll do that. Martha, they have said that they have, Timmy has said that he has solved the murder of John Benet Ramsey so many times that I think half the United States is in prison. First it was this guy with this really, really long dissertation, and then he stated that Monty was responsible, and it goes on and on and on and on. But I was kind of amused, you could say, when this lawsuit or threat of a lawsuit hit my email. My lawyer literally laughed at it. He said it's the silliest thing I've ever seen. They said that, these people are supposed to know the law. Well, let me go back over in the chat. I don't know if you remember, but this will be the second time I have been named in a lawsuit by Timothy Charles Holmseth. He hired the lawyer out of Virginia, or somehow got hooked up with the lawyer out of Virginia. This is the guy that sued an internet cow. And the reason he chose to sue us in Virginia is because there was a woman in Virginia that put up a petition on Facebook, and I had the bad judgment, I guess you could say, to sign a petition. I believe it was to have Tim Holmseth put in a nut ward or something. But apparently it's against the law to sign petitions. And the next thing you know, I get a process server coming to my house, and I get, I think about a 50-page complaint from the lawyer. Yeah, Stephen Biss. Now, the problem is I'm a resident of the state of Florida. And if you're going to sue somebody from the state of Florida, you're going to have to do it in a Florida court. And so the lawsuit was thrown out. The only problem is I'm out the money that I had to spend on that lawsuit, because they don't have any money. Nobody has ever offered to pay me the money that I had to shell out to defend that nonsense. But the interesting thing is they have not placed a cease and desist order against anyone else that I'm aware of. I asked a whole bunch of people, have you gotten one of these things? And as far as I know, I am the only one that got stuck this. Yeah, an internet cow won the lawsuit. And I don't know if they think that Lynn Wood's going to come to their defense, but Lynn Wood can't practice law until he clears up his dispute with the Bar Association. He has to take a noggin test to see if he's got anything up there. Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, there is an internet personality that has, I believe it's Devin Noonan's cow or something like that. And that individual has been poking fun of Devin Nunes for quite a long time. And the reason he uses a cow is, or she, I don't know who the person is because Devin Nunes claims to be a farmer, and people are saying he is not a farmer. So we don't know what's going on. Yeah, Modesto, California. Um, I believe there's a typo there. Clohe. I guess that's how you pronounce that. But, um, okay, what I'm going to do is just in case anybody wants to call in, I'm going to put this over on my chat so it's there if you want to call in. If you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, and hit the refresh button. I have once again hit 1,000. Now, what I don't know, and I'm going to go over and see real quick, is if it's holding. Is it? Yeah. I am at exactly 1,000 people right now. So, if anybody has not um, subscribed, please do so. Now, I have not gotten any police report yet. I need to have that because I want to go through it. I was going to do a live stream on it when I got a hold of it to go through exactly what was written in the complaint. Because the complaint deals with minors, there's a privacy issue with getting a FOIA report. So I have to have it from you. Because I talked to them twice about it, and they said that because there's children involved, they cannot give out any information on that report. And okay, Ashley, let me. Okay, Ashley, you should be on.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if you got the police report. I'll send it to you via email because Linda Nelson did not like my saggy titties picture I sent to her. So I can't do anything on Messenger till tomorrow.
All right. Well, yeah, because I will do a discussion probably tomorrow if I get it early enough, or possibly even tonight, depending on. Yeah, I didn't know that I was getting lag again. Because I chose SteamYard because I'm hoping it gets away from this problem. But yeah, but it over on the BitChute channel, she took the clip that you made and said that you're running around and that you're going to execute them.
That's okay. She can think that if she wants, but yet I went to the police. But she's going to sit here and say I'm trying to kill her. If I wanted to kill her, I would have already did it. If I wanted to really hurt her physically, I would have already did it. I'm handling this legally, and in the next couple weeks, she's going to get a nice little surprise. I do have all her addresses, but this is something where I can use more against her by doing it legally, given the fact that she has a lot of areas that she's involved in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to go ahead and hurt her that way. You know,
Well,
I would have left her alone if she would have stayed the hell away from my kids.
well, since I am being threatened with a lawsuit, I am going to need all those addresses because that way, when it comes time to uh, get my sheriff's department to contact other, because the sheriffs are usually the ones that do the process serving in that area. I can give them the information and they can do the process serving to these two characters because I have the legal right to that information since they are threatening legal action against me. They already have my address and contact information.
Right. Well, and the thing is, you know, I saw that work because I don't go on BitChute. I don't waste my time with that garbage. I could give two craps what these idiots say because they're irrelevant. I just don't like the way that they have screwed so many families and screwed so many people and that are lying and really destroying or trying to destroy declarated officers and actually hurting more than helping. You know, there's been times where I've wondered if Timothy actually had something to do with a lot of those murders that happened because he seems to plant himself in those cases. I can't say for John Benet Ramsey, that was years ago. However, you know, he's been in and out of prison for such a long time and they try to use, you know, Kim Bocasio as a scapegoat saying it's her fault. No, it's not her fault because he was already in and out of prison since before she even became in the picture. And the thing is what people don't realize is, you can't work for any type of Pentagon or FBI if you have any felonies in your background and stuff. You know, these people are very disturbed mentally. You know, Randi, she can talk all her crap that she wants, but she's not going to get anywhere with me. It's going to bite her even harder. And the reason why they're getting different, first she was saying, oh, the police told them all about me, but then they switched their story saying that the police are treating them differently. Yeah, you dumb, because the cops know me. Alexandria was on the phone with me when I talked to Tyler and she saw the dynamics. And when I told him that, oh, here you go, Tyler, look, it says I work for the CIA, he died laughing. And I told him, I'm going to whoop the bitch's ass if she comes near my children, comes to my home. And he knows that I'll do it. However, as of right now, I'm handling it in a way where, yeah, I'm going to go to the Anoka County Police. I'm going to go to the feds. Like now that they have implemented themselves as my children, because I did talk to my older son and his friends and show them a picture. And they said that these same people were there around May, like May 18th around there. That's when they saw them at the skate park where I'm at, you know, where my kids play and stuff. So, and it's not just my son, it was his friends, and they don't even know anything about this. They don't know what I do. They don't have Facebook. They have no idea, none whatsoever. So now the cops are notified. I wanted it to be on file. So now I believe the feds will definitely kick it up a few notches now for sure, because it's now involving kids. And apparently this is not the first time that these idiots have done this.
Well, you know, that's it. They are running around and I don't know what they thought that they were going to accomplish in Delphi. They chose going there when the place is closed for the weekend. So
your guess is good as mine. I think they did that to make it look like they're doing something. Like if you know, you can't destroy truth. However, you can manipulate it to look like what you wanted. Does that make sense? So they probably went down there saying, oh yeah, the pedophile's doing all this stuff, and then making it look like he's there, you know, when really he's not doing a damn thing. You know, I've already spoken to the Pentagon, like I've said so many other times, you know, yeah. It's disgusting. I mean, they're pigs. You know, Randi, your new nickname is the cow. Like, you're a cow. And you're going to talk all this crap about Miss Piggy Kim Bocasio? That woman is beautiful, intelligent, smart, still has her bar license. Randi never got that taken away like she's been threatening. She's been threatening that Merck is now going to prison. He's not in prison. They've been claiming that I'm going to prison and that the whatever military police is going to come and take us from our homes. That hasn't happened. They've been saying this for years. Nothing's happened. And they can't even get the police report unless she comes to my town.
Yeah, that's correct. And that was one of the things that I went through with the police is they said that, their main thing is because it has to deal with children, they would not allow me the documentation under Freedom of Information. They said your best bet is to be if the complaining party can send you the information, that's up to her. Well, we can't give it out.
Unless you come to my town, to the courthouse or police station and request it and tell them the reasoning. They wouldn't even send it to me through the mail, and it had to do with me. I had to personally go up there and grab it. So Randi Erickson's going to have to come here and grab it. So there's no way that she's going to be able to get anything. And yeah, there's lots of police reports on me. I made plenty of them. Bullying for the kids, about to whoop a child's ass for trying to hurt my kids, about got into a fight with the mama because she called my kid out of their name. Yeah, who cares? And from the last chat, I couldn't see anybody's comments, but y'all were more interested in the 5 kids removal CPS. No, it was 4 kids. I gave one up for adoption, and I've never done drugs my entire life. But when you see me speed up and act like, get on like some type of crazy, it's because I'm passionate and I'm angry and pissed. That's when you'll see me at my most vocal. That's when you're going to see me like get pissed off and like run my mouth. But I'm more than just talk. And yeah, I was in the cities. Randy's not far from me. She's 2.5 hours away. I got something for them in the next couple weeks too. It's going to be fun.
Well, as long as it's done legally, that's all you need. And they seem to, they say these odd things about, we're going to get them executed or we made death threats, and I don't do that. I do things by the law because it's not worth my freedom to break the law and harm these people. It simply is not worth it.
No, if she gets near my kids again, then yeah. And I've already told Tyler that. They all know this. Like, you go near my kids and come to my house, you bet I'm gonna jump on you. You can do whatever you want to me, but you ain't gonna go near my kids. That's the worst thing you could ever do.
I put up that this is the Minnesota Castle Doctrine, which basically says you do not have to retreat from his or own home, and if necessary, you can use deadly force to protect your property and family. And Florida has that, and we have the Stand Your Ground law. And the management of the park here in Florida has been notified that I do not give these people permission to be near my house.
Oh yeah, cops have been notified, and
and the Orange County Sheriff has been notified. They're doing frequent patrols after they saw the information they gave them about not only their threat against me, but all the other things that have been put on the other website.
Well, yeah. That's the thing. And, no, I'm good. No, it's okay. I'm okay. Thank you. Sorry, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, hold on. These people approaching kids that aren't there is right out of line. To approach kids, not cool. That's something I'd be prepared. Exactly. That's exactly right, Jolly. No, it's fine. That's exactly right. That's why I was so pissed off when I called Mert, because I pretty much found out about it. And then something just told me to show my daughter a picture because, again, she said some crazy woman approached her or whatever. So I showed pictures to her, and then I started digging some more and showed my son, and his friends all said the same thing, that they saw these people on, and it was more than one occasion, so it's like, okay, now you cross the lines. And like I told Tyler, I'll whoop that bitch's ass. I will. And Tyler's like, I know you will. These people don't understand the type of rapport I have with the cops here. That's, Anderson is the chief of police, and he knows me real well. You know, they can make up whatever crap and smear campaign they want, but it's all garbage, and that's why it never gets to me, is because it's
Mhm.
all lies. I don't give a shit what these people say. It's all lies, and it doesn't affect me. Now, the one thing that will affect anybody is truth. That's what will get underneath their skin, and that's why they're getting so mad.
Okay, John, I just noticed that you were hanging around there. I just put
Hey
you on the
guys.
screen.
Hi
So,
Ashley. Hey Mark.
Hi, Joan.
Good evening.
uh,
Good evening.
yeah.
Yeah, these little rats are running out of places to hide, and I can't. So they actually approached your children, Ashley, because I heard about that and I nearly lost my mind.
Yes. Okay, so a few weeks ago, like back in May, my daughter had said a creepy woman approached her. And I didn't think anything of it, you know, because I mean, it could have been a parent, because sometimes me and parents get into it because you don't bully my kids, you know. And so something just told me to show her a picture, just something. And then when I showed her the picture, well and behold, she said that was the woman. She's like, oh, that's the one. So, and then a
Wow.
few days ago, I showed my son the same thing, and his friends were with him, and they're 12 and 13 and 14-year-old kids. And they said, oh, yeah, they were at the skate park numerous times around the May 18th, around there. I don't know the exact date. So that's why I was cussing up a storm and telling people, like, okay, you know, yeah,
Incredible.
this is what's going on, and I'm going to whoop the bitch's ass. Like, so I went, you know, to Minneapolis and
Yeah.
stuff, and they're trying to say I'm trying to kill Randi. No, if I wanted to kill that bitch, I would already done did it. Like, I know where she's at. Like, I
Yeah.
know her addresses.
I hear you. Yeah, they're
You know,
cowards. I mean, they're basically cowards, and they're
well, they're getting pretty ballsy to be fucking
that's
with to be messing with my kids.
yeah. But you know, they probably followed them around when they knew, you know, nobody was around, and you know they wouldn't do that when an adult was around because they know they both would get, you know, pummeled. You know, they're cowards.
Well, and I already showed everyone in my town pictures of Timothy. I showed him where he said that he started as a peeping Tom and talked about how he raped children and stuff like that from his website, which I sent Mert. And people are like, no, this is no way. There's no way. That they laughed when they were talking about, oh, he solved the case with John Benet Ramsey, and this was like confessions from John Benet Ramsey murder. No, it was her second grade teacher or whatever that was murdered that I found in 06. But this man, I believe those are his confessions, and other people do as well. And I don't know. It's just sick. But I've clashed.
They're running out of places to hide.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and the money's
Minnesota,
drying up.
Florida. They you know they stalked my Facebook page and figured out that I used to work for or I think maybe they think I still do work for the City of Stewart Fire Department. I retired there.
They do, because they were wanting to call and make complaints. That's all right. Go ahead and make complaints. I don't care. What are you gonna do?
And
all I gotta do is show them how crazy you are.
I talked to the police chief and a lieutenant out at Martin County SO, and if they show their faces, they have the Broward warrant on him.
Yeah, mine laughed really hard at them when I said, oh yeah, same here. Yep, they got the warrants here too. I showed Tyler, and I told Tyler, I was like, oh, Tyler, by the way, they said that I work for the CIA, and he just died laughing. He died. He's like, I thought you were crazy. He's like, this goes beyond crazy. I was like, oh yeah, they're delusional. They're QAnon quacks.
I think with the QAnon and the sovereign citizen, they're basically designated as domestic terrorists. So when you call a law enforcement agency, they're looking for them in Largo, where Erickson has those 2 condos. They're looking for them in a lot of places, and people keep calling, and they keep, every time they pop their head up. I heard a little birdie told me that Lynn Wood was not too thrilled with Timmy being near his residence, and that guy's got a lot of pull in that town. So
yeah,
somebody and I spoke with the Delphi police chief for an hour. This guy was so pissed off. And they don't even handle that murder case, but I mean, that's their town, and to have this asshole, you know, muddying up, you know, accusing Mert of being involved in the murder, and just muddying up, you know, and we laugh at it, but that's not funny to them. And who is handling the case? And they do have, it's not like the fake task force. It's a real task force
Yep.
with the FBI and the Carroll County Sheriff's Department. And
Yep.
now they have all Timmy's information, and all they have to do is walk that into a judge and say, look, this guy is obstructing justice in this investigation, and there's his felony warrant, and all these other warrants that he has, they're going to turn into felonies, and they're done. You're just going to one day you'll switch on YouTube and Mert will be on, and Timothy Holmseth arrested. It's something, I feel it. I can feel it in my bones. And as far as, they threaten people all the time, and their kooky followers threaten them. And I asked my sheriff's department, I said, what are my legal rights here as far as defending myself? And I said, these are your legal rights. If they cross your property line, they're fair game. Especially, and I sat in a meeting with the Commonwealth Attorney of Virginia, the Assistant Commonwealth Attorney, 2 detectives from our Sheriff's Department, and a representative for the Virginia State Police because of that
Okay,
video.
everybody, I've got another guest waiting here. I'm going to see.
Please tell me it's Randi Erickson, because I love to tear a new hole.
Well, Carrie
Randy,
Sue B is someone I've known. Carrie Sue B is somebody I've known for years. Okay, Carrie Sue B, you're in here. How can I do for you? Ah, just as I thought. That is a Carrie Sue B. I'm kind of interested in how that came about. She was a good friend of mine from the Bahamas. And the clip that was played there was actually made by a pedophile.
Good God, imagine that.
What it was is this is a guy by the name of Monoxide MMAC, and he used to make what are known as soundboard calls. And this guy, and I thought it was a real person, called me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, got me out of a sound sleep, and started making all kinds of comments. And
sounds like nutter.
Well, what it is I got off on the guy, and I used coarse language in the whole 9 yards, only to find out I was talking to a recording.
Oh,
now, what these people don't tell.
What a bunch of sick bastards they are. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So Randi Erickson had to appease she had to appease the pedophiles because not even her own family wanted her. What kind of shit is that?
Yeah, because I have told, I have put in videos on here who Monoxide MMAC is. This is way back in the Kaylee Anthony case and the Haley Cummings case. We had a guy, he was a bounty hunter from California, and he did a chat. And he was talking about the case. And Monoxide MMAC came in and put in links to child pornography. It was animated child pornography, but it was child pornography nonetheless. He was tracked down and charged with distribution of child pornography, served time in prison, and he is no longer allowed on the internet.
Not a very bright boy.
To be Timmy and Randi, I can't wait. That's gonna be them.
No, he was an interesting character though. He used to put up posts about having sex with his mother. The guy was really weird. Yeah, just likes attraction.
Sounds like something Timmy would write about.
But Tim Holmseth knows the guy is a pedophile, and he uses the material anyway.
Because he's sick.
Yeah.
Because he's a pedophile.
And I got a shout out to Alex Goddard and Levi. I mean, the job they're doing, and I don't know if any of you guys have seen this. It's a documentary. I think it's called Roll Red Roll on.
Oh my God,
Netflix.
that was amazing.
And Alex single-handedly, basically put those guys in jail. So and that's who they're screwing with, And Levi's got a long history, in working in crime, and that's who these idiots are messing with, and they're just.
But also Craig Sawyer, who is even more like. They're trying to tie me into Craig Sawyer. They said that I guess Craig Sawyer hired me to go kill Randy or something. I'm like, oh my God, they're just digging themselves
Well,
deeper and deeper and deeper. Like they're just
and
idiots. Go ahead, keep talking your shit because it's gonna catch
and
up to you.
and see, they don't know this, but the state of Virginia passed new laws about internet harassment using or stalking using electronic devices. And these idiots post a video posted about me by an actual convicted pedophile that we ended up outing because he had a karate studio. So they post that video on their BitChute. So they are now part of that investigation, and they're all with all the Q stuff and the sovereign citizen. Cops are just, they've had it with this. The state attorneys and the Commonwealth attorneys have had it, and they're
And
they're
that's in
gonna they're gonna
Virginia, correct?
yeah, yep. I sat down I walked into the meeting. I thought it'd be like one or two people. There were like 8 people in the meeting. I was like, whoa, because we're the main offender is this pedophile that lives in Tennessee that we ended up outing, and he's been stalking us for years, but they got a hold of that and put it on their BitChute, so they are now part of a pretty significant criminal investigation that's going on in the state of Virginia.
Well,
So
yeah,
they're
I mean,
just
I know they've been being watched for over a year now, but see, I think the feds are really now going to be on top of them here in the state of Minnesota because now it's in Minnesota and it's not just like, okay, these are adults that are coming to us, but now these are my children, these are minors. That she did approach my daughter, she didn't approach my son or anything, but they were just watching.
that sounds like a felony warrant to me. And Mert, you spoke with the FBI about these assholes. I mean, they're
Yeah.
and they're labeled domestic terrorists. And that's
They
what they
are.
are. That's what they've been doing.
Mhm.
So, that how, and they're just bopping around the country, in that smelly Nissan, and
Ew.
doing their dirt, and their number is coming. I don't know how many states are looking for them now, but they're running out of states. There's only 50, so.
Unless they go to a different country, but see, I don't think Timothy can go to a country because he's got those felonies. He can't get a passport, I don't think. Does anybody know?
Well,
yeah.
Well, you can't go to Canada because they've got a travel embargo in place. The United States citizens cannot go to Canada, and it's the same with Mexico. So they're stuck in the United States. They can't get out of either one.
They could go to Europe.
That's a possibility, but I need to go to Canada before the pandemic. All you needed was a travel visa. They really didn't need a passport. You do if you fly an airplane, but if you go over by land, you don't need a passport because Canadians and Americans go back and forth all the time.
Right.
And it's similar with the country of Mexico. The problem is because of the pandemic, both borders are closed.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And what happens with INS, and Homeland Security, those warrants that he has are in their computer. And if they try to go through an airport, the computer is going to go off like a pinball machine, and I'm pretty sure they know that. They're painting themselves into a corner, and one day
I don't know. They're pretty
the
dumb. I mean, they're extremely
close.
stupid. There's no brightness to them whatsoever. I mean, Randi, the fat cow, is just a piece of work, but she's lied to all these parents. I mean, for a pedophile, what better cover would be, to be involved with kids by saying you're trying to help the parents from Child Protective Services? What a better way to get closer to parents with children, right?
Yeah, and if say if and what they're doing with you, Mert, they're gaslighting you. It's a run of the mill gaslight email from retards, and if they ever brought a suit, all you'd have to do is introduce Timmy's book, and that would be over. I mean,
well, this would be the second time that Timmy tried to sue me because he tried to sue me in Virginia, and Florida says nope, it's got to come down here. So
what in the world?
That didn't work out too good, Timmy.
I got sued basically for signing a petition. but it was what they call a straw man lawsuit because they were really after Kim Bacasio. And they just,
Yeah.
why I was put on the suit, I don't know.
It's Thelma and Louise. I just, I hope they hold hands and drive off a cliff. That's
Wishful thinking.
That's about the only options they have.
Well,
they have open to them now.
Randi is very anti-vaccine, so if she doesn't take the vaccine and he doesn't take the vaccine, then nature will take its course.
One can only wish.
Yeah.
They're so filthy. I don't think any virus could live in them. Truthfully, I think they would scare the hell out of COVID. Just their hygiene. But
Timothy Holmseth, if you're listening to this, I had a very bad dream about you there was Satan inside your stomach and worms that just exploded out of your stomach because of your filthy ways. Let that sink in.
Oh, he is. They've got to be. And I don't know if you're listening to Alex and Levi the other night. I got to get this video, that traffic stop of him where he's pulled over for a seatbelt and he looks like he's John Dillinger or something, and he thinks the cops are after him and he's sweating bullets and squirming around like a salamander.
I need that video. I didn't even see that. I've been working, so I haven't been able to watch anything, but I got to get a hold of that one.
Mert, have you seen that? Have you seen that?
Yeah, because what it was is he used to have a Facebook, and he put that video on Facebook, and he taped the cop and said, I got this on video, I'm on my way to court, and, I don't want to get harmed and all this. And the cop says,
don't shoot me.
Yeah.
You're white, Timmy. You're not black. You have nothing to worry about.
And the cop said, well, all you need to do is fasten your seatbelt, and there wouldn't be any need to stop you. And he got a ticket for the seatbelt anyway, rather than just say, I'm on my way to court. I'm sorry, I forgot. He probably could have gotten off, but he decided to be a smartass, so the cop wrote him a ticket.
But take it easy there, Ted. Take it easy there, Ted Bundy. This is really a seatbelt stop.
I love the fact that they arrested Kirk Pendergrass too. I think that's hilarious. I'm so happy about that. That's great. That's awesome.
He's out. I don't know. That judge went light on him, but he's going back in. He is.
Well, he's going he'll go back in because he's already talking about it on his show.
When he came on Monday, he still had his jail beard, but by Friday he had shaved, but he was doing something with a green screen. And he looked like, it was the funniest. I'm going to send it to Dodger Stone because it looked like a disembodied head that was in front of this logo. And he's just another total moron, and he's when he goes back in on those charges, he's going to do the same shit, and they're going to cite him with contempt again. And this time it's going to be for a longer time and a bigger fine. And still, I'm going to show that judge. No, you're not, Kirk. You're not going to show the judge anything. he's gonna show you the county jail. So, but yeah.
He's been arrested before for methamphetamine and something with controlled substance and all that. He has a pretty long rap sheet with drugs. I mean, you can tell he's on drugs anyways just by looking at him. He's super skinny. His face is sunken in. That video he did right after Chris got murdered because of them, that was an interesting live that I saw. That was very interesting.
And
Kennedy just said that Kurt had court on Tuesday, so maybe he shut his mouth. Maybe he's recanting his philosophy.
Well,
because he had court.
Yeah, and what the story is with that is that he would not enter a plea, and the judge entered it for him. And that's as far as I got with what the update is on that. So they may have said.
No, I'm not entering a plea. Yeah, I'm not going to enter a plea. You crappy little query.
And the judge had to enter it for him, which this happens a lot, where somebody refuses to answer a plea. And so they probably set a date for him to come back for, because he's got, I think, 3
But you know, for Kirk,
outstanding warrants that he's got to deal with.
yeah.
So,
But for Kirk just to not enter a plea, that's amazing that he didn't open his fat mouth again. I guess he got tired of the bologna sandwiches, you know, for a week or
well,
two.
there you go, Melissa Grover. If you're watching this, your good old friend can't get himself out of jail. Why? Oh, that's right, because he doesn't know law and he's not an attorney.
correct.
Yeah, and I'm so pissed. I was pissed at both of them because I knew Neely before, you know, she went off the deep end, and
It's because
I was
of
trying to
them.
get her competent legal help in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and she was interested, and she ran across that stupid idiot on Facebook, and that's how she got suckered in, you know, and now one of them's dead, you know, and the other guy's doing the same shit, and Neely will never see her children again. That case, that trial is coming up, and I mean, what the lowest form of, I don't know what you could even call them that's bad enough, you know, to do that to a vulnerable person. And she was, I mean, I talked to her for hours on the phone, you know, and it seemed like she had, if she went the correct legal route, she would have ended up getting her parental rights back. And these assholes got a hold of her, and it just, you know, it turned into what it ended up as. And who suffers? Neely, the children suffer. Yeah, and that asshole, you know, his partner gets blown away, and he's out there doing the same shit.
Well, he started almost
You
the
know,
next day.
not a very bright guy either. You know, I'm sure there's a couple of Kirk's clients that aren't too happy with him. You know, you think he would just fade away, but you know, no, they're all just stupid.
No, because there's a lot of people that promote him, and Randi and Timothy and all them. Like they all just promote each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a bunch of idiots. But I tell you what, the numbers are way down for all of them, that's a good thing. I mean,
Everyone keeps asking me, why do I keep saying the same thing over and over? Why do I keep saying the same thing over? Why do I keep repeating myself? Well, because the more I talk about, and even though I'm doing the same thing over and over, it's not insanity because I'm getting different results each time because of the fact that more and more people are waking up, and more people will see that and they're like, oh crap, we need to stay away from them. You know, so the numbers going down, then that means we all that are trying to expose these idiots are doing our jobs correctly. So yeah, I'm gonna be a fucking broken record. If you don't like it, you ain't gotta listen to me. You know, like these people are disgusting.
Took out his PayPal.
Oh yeah, we did that. We took out his PayPal, David Jose's Paypal, Francesca's
and his
PayPal.
Cash App. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and the Cash App. Yeah, and the Venmo. Yeah, we did all that. I mean, that was easy stuff. Some of the better.
Beautiful.
What I want to do
is the Facebook.
Okay, if I can interrupt you guys, I've got updates on the Neely Blanchard case. Okay, what
cool
case comes now? The defendant Neely L. Petrie Blanchard by and through her undersigned counsel and pursuant to Florida Rules of Criminal Procedure 3-220 discloses the name and address of the following witnesses whom the defendant expects to call or may call as witnesses in the trial or hearing to wit. And the witnesses are Shannon Tanis from the State Attorney's Office, Liliana Lafrenza Tanis, I guess it is, minor, in care of the State Attorney's Office, Kathy Sue Watson of Dawson Springs, Kentucky, Jamie Grubbs of Grove City, Minnesota, Susan Blanchard of Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Savannah Hendricks of Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Mark Scott of Ocala, Florida. And so this is the witnesses that may be called thus far. Now, in addition, the state has been granted an unopposed motion for continuance of pre-trial. Defendant's unopposed motion for continuance is granted. This case is continued to the October 7th, 2021 pre-trial conference docket beginning at 8:30 in the morning, which is generally common in first-degree murder cases. Hi, Levi. I'll put you on the air in just a second here. So we're looking at probably
Hi, Daddy.
Levi.
we're probably looking at 2022 before anything happens. Okay, Levi, you're on the air.
Hey, Mert, I don't know if you guys
so,
saw this, but there was a woman that posted on YouTube. She looks to be fairly young, 20s or 30s. And she was posting that Timothy Holmseth tried to get in contact with her, and so did Randi Erickson. And she did not get in contact with them at first, but has reconsidered it and now wants to get in contact with them. And I don't know who this woman is. She goes by the name Hannah on YouTube. And she apparently has some sort of situation going on, and Timothy and Randi reached out to her to try to help her out.
Oh,
And
God.
from what I'm thinking,
Lord.
is probably a woman that is having issues with Child Protective Services, and Randi and Timothy have been trolling the internet to prey on someone else, just like this group of people preyed on Neely Blanchard.
Yeah, it's a pattern because there's still Neely Blanchard and the woman from Colorado, Cynthia Absug, and we have that woman from Idaho or Utah.
Emily Jolly.
So, one of these days they're going to hit that tripwire, and that's going to be all she wrote.
Yeah, I'll post.
They just never stop,
Yeah, I'd like to see that video.
Thanks.
I'm just going to
Mark, go on YouTube and type in
law enforcement in that area.
Go ahead, John.
But law enforcement in that area needs to be aware of them attempting to contact her. That would, and I might be the guy who calls them, or several other people in the chat room, or you, or Alex, or Ashley, or maybe even Mark, maybe all of us.
Yeah, Levi, if you can, I guess
Mark, just type in on YouTube, type in Allie's, ALLY, Allie's message to Timothy Charles Holmseth, and the video should pop up.
All right. I'm doing that tonight. I'll find out where she's at.
Okay.
And it's going to be interesting because they have
it never ends with these people.
Okay, I've got this was put up 4 days ago. It's a young African-American woman. And let me see, this is about 2.5 minutes long. What I'm going to do is I got to see if the audio, I'm going to play the audio because it's too much trouble to bring. Let's see if this comes through my audio.
Now, last thing that we're going to say, because we're going to get going, and we're going to try to have a peaceful fucking moment, and we're going to go paint some fucking rocks and have a fucking moment. So, and then we'll have a Telegram chat very soon. But my last thing to say, Timothy Charles Holmseth, this is my message to you. Please spread this message everywhere. Timothy Charles Holmseth, sir, you tried to speak to me in July.
Lord.
You posted my video on your platform. Randi came and contacted my mom and told my mom that she knew that we were telling the truth. Timothy Charles Holmseth, sir, you tried to speak to me, and honest to God, I was scared. Because at the time, I was in my home, and I knew that if I talked to you, or I thought that if I said anything else more than the videos that I was saying, that we would be here. So I backed up from you, went to work, and tried to act like shit wasn't falling because I was scared, sir. Timothy Charles Holmseth, I see the hell you go through. I admire you for still sticking up and doing what needs to be done and bringing shit to light. I am telling you right now that, sir, I would appreciate any advice, a phone call, any tips, suggestions. You went through this shit for a year. More than that. You're still going through it. So, sir, please try to contact me again, and I am trying to get in touch with you. If there is something that you can help me with, we have a lot of danger coming our way from the bullshit that is happening right now, and we need your help. I
can help you, all right?
It took me so long, but yes, sir, I was honestly afraid. I was terrified because I knew this. So, Mr. Holmseth, we are looking for you. We are looking to speak to you, and just to try to get something that can help us to continue this fight, because we know that you were telling the truth, and I know that you had advice for me in the beginning, and I'm so sorry I ran.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he'll help her, all right. He'll help her get rights terminated. He'll help her get locked up in jail.
Person.
Guys, did you notice what she said? She said that she was on her way to work and backed up. Did Timothy show up to her home?
Probably.
I mean, that's
weird.
That's crazy because that's what they've been doing lately.
Do you have that woman's location, Levi?
I don't know. She only has one video up. That's the only video. She goes by Hannah on YouTube. But it's somebody that Randi and Timothy are trying to exploit.
How many followers does she have,
at
Levi?
least to identify her
she
if
only
I
has
can.
7 subscribers on YouTube.
I wonder where her background is. Why would they be messing with her unless she's somebody either of importance or has a big following? Does that make sense?
Well, remember in the Sarah Dunklin and that custody case and in the papers that Miko Hayes released online, it stated that Sarah Dunklin and her crew, Randi, Timothy, Field, and company, that they would actually troll Child Protective Service groups on Facebook for people.
Yeah, because I was one of the people that was helping them exploit the parents without even realizing it, which is how I stumbled upon these idiots. That's exactly what they do.
So I'm betting that that's where they got in contact with her. Randi is still trolling these people, and I think what we have to look into is Randi and Timothy are on the run. Randi has left her husband to carry out this affair with Timothy, and people are wondering, where are they getting the money? Where are they getting the money? Well, maybe they're scamming these poor people that have lost custody of their kids and are fighting to get them back. And
yeah, they're just
they've
running
been
the board.
doing that. That's exactly what they've been doing. They've been scamming them.
Yeah,
they've been doing that for a very long time. Like I said, when Field went to jail, Northland, Sarah Dunklin told Jim White, whatever the hell that idiot's name is, that he was to take over for Field McConnell's platform type thing. But then Timothy and or not Timothy, but Kirk and Chris took over instead. But he was supposed to take over and let all these moms come on, and then he was supposed to get donations and things like that. So I mean, it's like I said, it's organized crime, guys, and the shot caller, I believe, is somewhere in Europe. We don't know who the shot caller is of all of these guys. It's not Randi. It's not Timmy. They play a piece in it, but it's.
Do you think it's David
crime.
Straight?
No, it's somebody I'm telling you, it's somebody out of Europe. Like Field and Sarah went to go see these people or this person at least twice in Europe. I'm telling you, I know this. And I don't know who it is, but they're also getting a lot of money, and it's going through a lot of, like, it's not just money coming from the parents, but I don't know who it is. We've been trying to figure that out for a long time.
I forget the woman's name, but there's some kind of factor that lives, I think, in Virginia that financed the whole AB.
Yes, there was a wealthy
thing.
woman in Virginia that Cynthia Absug and company stayed with when she was on the run. I forgot her name. Alex knows it, but she's pretty wealthy, and they stayed with her in Virginia.
Yeah, that was the woman whose husband had like a very high type of job where it had to do with, you had to have special clearance to even work that job. And I think it had to do with government, but I can't remember. I vaguely remember this person, but I don't remember.
It was said that she had a connection to the State Department.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean,
I wonder if he still has. I wonder if he still has his job.
I don't know, because I was gonna make a few phone calls, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. I don't know, but I just know that was one. But no, there's somebody else out of Europe.
How to get your security clearance pulled?
Stuff's been going on, and that came out of that. Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, like, there's a lot of ways to do stuff, but anyways, like I said, I got something for these.
What did you ask, Levi?
Where is Paula Blades located?
Levi, what did you ask? Yes, where is something located?
Paula Blades.
Oh.
Don't know the name.
God, I don't know if it's just me, but my audio is like breaking up terribly on you.
Oh, it could be me. It could be me. But she's someone that posts a lot of Timothy Holmseth content on her YouTube. But I think she might have got suspended.
One can hope.
Every account they've ever had is gone.
That's right.
You know, bitch shoots the only one that'll take them.
Not really. They changed their policies.
Is Sarah Dunklin, she is the one that breastfed her 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
She came to the courthouse with her child's underwear in her hands and was waving it around and screaming.
My friend, that's what I was telling y'all about the other day. My friend told me all about that. She lost her shit in that courtroom and like grabbed her child's underwear and was running around like an idiot saying they're raping my daughter. You know, let me tell y'all something. Francesca Mato, David, all these idiots, Randi, Timothy, the way that they try to get at other parents is they'll either call CPS on you, make false allegations, or they'll just tell people that the other parent is raping and molesting your child. I mean, hell, Francesca's the one that called on me and said that my husband was raping my daughter. You know, I mean, these people, that's all it's baffling that that's all these people think about.
With Sarah. I contacted Sarah and asked her if she would be interested in coming on my show.
Good luck.
I wanted to interview her, and she responded back. She was very polite. I'll give her that. Although she's no fan of mine. She says it's incredibly sad that your group gossips about people that they have never met. The one I heard that mentioned me was so far off base, it was egregiously ridiculous. I do realize we do not agree politically. I don't know how she knows what my political views are, but that does not give your group the right to do what you have done to good people and their families.
Sarah, you're not a good person.
They were talking about 3 military veterans and a candidate for U.S. Congress. These stories do not even make sense. Does your group have nothing better to do than to try to ruin the lives with rumors and incorrect information in an effort to help? Maybe you should reconsider the information you are receiving, wherever that may originate. As a Christian, I am a forgiving person and do understand that your group has acted on unverified, incorrect information and gossip. This does not change the fact that your group has caused havoc for me, my daughter, and her dad's family, and many more. You are liable, as are each one of the gossips. This should have stopped a long time ago. Your group owes my daughter, her dad's family, and me a huge apology. I do not know how y'all sleep at night. Unfortunately, although I do really want to come on your show, I am unable to do so due to personal litigation directly caused by your group. And I just want that's not true because I never knew of Sarah Dunklin until litigation was already initiated against her.
Cray
And
cray.
then she ends the email. She says, hopefully at some
Cray
point I
cray.
will be able
Cray
to do
cray.
your show, as I am certain you would quickly realize the erroneous nature of the information your group has received, regardless of our different politics. I do ask Jesus to forgive you, Sarah.
Yeah, so that's how that's
Mm.
her manipulation. You can definitely tell. That's exactly how she responds with a lot of the parents and stuff. That's one of her tactics. She's very, very good at it. But honestly, her daughter is in a better place. If her husband had any issues, trust and believe someone would have got in contact with me. You know, we're not going to give out the minor child's name, and I sure as hell am not going to give out his name. You know, if people want to know his name, all they got to do is look up the court documents, you know, or one of the attorneys would get in touch with me. But the thing is that Sarah was like a best friend to me. And bitch, you know that. I'll go ahead and leak out our little screenshots where you were telling me that Trump can get kids back home and that military police will protect you like you did with all these other parents, which is why that woman that you guys just played, I know exactly what she's talking about. Randi and Holmseth are telling her that they have military police and military to protect her. And if it's a CPS case, like they're going to protect her. And what they do is they instill fear in these parents and the vulnerability of it. You heard how scared she was. I'm sure y'all heard that, right? Okay. And what they do is they feed off of that. They told Cindy people are after her. So Sarah's going to send Ryan all the way from Arkansas to Chicago, or not Chicago, but to Colorado. Just like with Danielle Estelle, they said, oh, they played good cop, bad cop, and she listened to Dr. Good Vibes and whoever else the idiots were because they said they're not like there and they're not a part of there when really they were to try to trick her. They destroyed her car, put fear in her, just like they did with Cindy Absug. And Merton, you were on the phone with me that day. I was talking to Danielle. So when I went to go to Osceola to pick her butt up and
Mhm.
help her.
Is
Yeah,
that
that's
that's the one
craziness.
where Monty called the
And
police
good
himself,
vibes.
didn't he?
God.
Yeah,
Isn't that?
Monty called the
Good
state
vibes
police,
in the
I believe.
hotel room.
Yeah,
And I think Tracy Remington showed up there too.
Yeah.
she did.
What if
Tracy Remington showed up. The Good Vibes showed up, and that other guy, I can't remember. It's the air. Is Good Vibes the airplane dude?
Is that Dan Hanley?
That's the one.
That's a friend of Phil McConnell's. So
Yeah,
basically, the point is that these people, when they get a hold of somebody that they're trying to
Yeah,
help, whether
Phil.
that be Danielle Stella or this Hannah woman on Facebook, and even there was a woman that called into my show that wanted to remain anonymous, and
I
she
remember that.
actually went to Becker, Minnesota, to a seminar that Kirk Pendergrass was having, and Randi and Timothy were there, and they were collecting donations while they were there.
That's exactly what they do. Like I've got screenshots where David Jose says they want Straight come down and everyone's like, oh, David Straight, yeah, blah, 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 bullshit like that. And then David Straight's like, yeah, I'll come down, just get the funding together. And dude's like, oh, I got all my tax money. Just come on in with all my tax money. You know, like just taking this money from these people. And I'm just letting y'all know that they all work together under RICO Act. It's all organized crime. Y'all may think these people are idiots. I mean, they are to a point. But when it comes to like making that money and scamming people, they're better than the Nigerian scammers. Let me tell you.
Here's the thing. This is where it becomes a crime, and this is where we can nail them, is they're claiming to work for the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. They're claiming to work for President Trump. They're basically saying that they're federal employees and that they are using this charade, this fraud, this scam to get money from people. So all we need is one person that they've scammed. One person that's given
That's the
them money,
problem.
and then bam, you can make a prosecution against them.
That's
You
the
can
problem,
have
though.
prosecutors go after them.
No one will do that because they're
They've
going.
got some pending felonies right now in Virginia, which is my case, and in Delphi, because those cops in Delphi are pissed, and somebody's going to file a felony on them, and when that happens,
Soon
it's all over for Thelma and Louise.
Right. Well, and the thing is, Levi, is like I've been saying, they go after these vulnerable families, okay? And like Fran says, oh, I have a 501c4 and nonprofit, and I'm a top-notch advocate. But then when she gets pissed off at the parents or they try to turn her in, they turn around and contact the opposing side, whether it's a divorce or a child custody case or a CPS case, and they go and trash talk the other person to ruin their case. And that's what these people do, is they instill fear in them with their child protective custody cases and stuff, because that's how they do it. So no one's gonna go up against them. Like that one woman, I talked to her and Fran and them, Laven and Fran and Jose, and all of them, including Kirk, took $5,000 plus an additional $3,000 or $4,000 for them to drive out to California or wherever the hell it was during the pandemic when they were on lockdown from New York, and took the money and didn't tell her what to do, gave her some paperwork, and she still doesn't have her kid, but she said she won't do anything because of the fact that she, I guess, is here illegally, and they took her child and they did nothing. And her own parents from, I think it was New Zealand, you have to ask Miko Hayes or Robert Beatty, because the whole Robert Beatty and Miko Hayes have been covering this for a while too. But like,
Miko's done some great work on Francesca.
Oh man, she's so, dude, you want to get her going, mention his name. It's quite funny.
Well, here's the deal, especially with Randi Erickson, she's still, as far as we know, legally married to Brian as of this month. When we learned that the police had been out there, he said that they were separated. He never said that they were officially divorced. So here's the thing, they're married. If she's like running up debt on a credit card, that affects his credit score.
Well, she got those loans by using his name.
Levi, take a look at what I just put up on the screen.
Yeah, I read that.
Just put that banner. Look at that banner. Oh my God.
Timmy and Randi Holmseth. And they
respected fugitives.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
God, guys.
Well, what I've heard is that all these people, Kirk, Randi, and Tim, are collecting money from the government, like unemployment and disability and so forth like that. If that's, I'm just wondering, what are the laws regarding people
not paying taxes, faking bankruptcies?
Bankruptcy one, Randy's
that these people are guilty of, and all we need is for somebody to start digging into this, and they'll find the crime.
Let me break in here for a minute, Levi. Timmy Holmseth cannot collect unemployment insurance. He was a 1099 employee as a pizza delivery driver, which means he's an independent contractor. That's how these pizza companies work. And if you are getting a 1099, you cannot collect unemployment because you're a business. And the same is true of Randi Erickson's. As a licensed real estate broker, she is an independent contractor and cannot collect unemployment insurance. So if either one of these people are collecting unemployment, they're breaking the law. I don't know how they're managing to do it.
Because unemployment is so backed up right now that they probably haven't had a chance to screen them.
Well, that's a possibility, but if they are collecting unemployment insurance.
Or Randi could easily say that Timothy's working underneath her.
Well, then she has to file a W-4 because she has to withhold payroll taxes from him.
Right.
And so if he, at some point, that's going to break down. because the IRS is going to say, well, if you're collecting unemployment, who is your employer?
Mhm.
And if Timothy says, well, it's Randi,
I
then
think
they're going to go to Randi and says, where's all the deductions for uh, his payroll taxes? He has to pay into Social Security. He has to pay into welfare tax. Plus, she has to pay unemployment insurance premium because the employer is charged for the unemployment insurance. That's why it's called insurance. It's not run completely by the government. There's a partnership involved where the government clears these, but employers have to have insurance. I was an employer. I know what the law is concerning this particular situation. So, they better not be collecting unemployment, either one of them.
yeah, and they're traveling the country in a shitbox Nissan. I think the whole system is broken down
Well,
for them. And
that's another thing,
they're just
John,
waiting
that
for the walls. The walls coming.
yeah. Well, another thing too is this Twitter account made the statement, or somebody did, that Timothy Holmseth has not been in the state of Minnesota since he bolted from the courthouse. And if this is the case, where did he get his driver's license
That's not
and
true.
tag renewed? Well, I agree, Levi, but they're making these claims, but they're not backing them up with facts, because if he
Mm-mm.
he can't vote in the state of Minnesota if he's not there. That's voter fraud. And if
Right.
he's, and he has to have a legal residence where he is currently at on his driver's license. And he also
I
has to
could
do
not
the
even
same with
vote
the
in
car.
Minnesota. I had to vote in Arkansas
Uh-huh.
because that's where my license was out of.
Yeah, you have to vote in the state that you legally reside. And you, it's just their stories fall apart. Um, and I just think, well, and
Well,
there's
here's
I'd,
what I think
I'd,
happened.
I'd love to make a
I think
list of all the crimes, and it would be a mile long.
here's what I think happened. I think the timeline is Timothy was supposed to go on trial, and he was staying with Randi before the trial was supposed to start. Because if you remember, um, Timothy and Randi would call the courthouse. Remember, they were calling and complaining and saying that they were not given correct information, and they were
Mhm.
both in the same room together on the
Yeah.
same phone.
Yeah,
So
because
we know that they were together at one time.
Mhm.
Then we know that Randi was transporting Timothy to Fields. We know Randi posted a picture on her Facebook account of Timothy being a slob, kicked back in a recliner at her home. And I think what happened was someone in Randi and Brian's family, I think it was probably Randi's kids, were not a fan of Timothy. They found out what he was all about, did not want their children at Randi's with this weirdo that Randi met online, and they started complaining. And they called the police and sent the police there because police had been there before Ashley called them this April. They'd been there before that to get Timothy. And I think it was Randi's own kids that called the police.
Mhm.
The police went there, but they didn't take Timothy in because they were not taking in misdemeanor detainees
because of COVID.
because of
Because of
COVID.
COVID.
And I
Yeah.
think
Hmm.
around that in the summer of 2020, Randi and Timothy hit the road when things started opening up again.
Mhm.
And they started taking in inmates in jails. And I think that they've been traveling across the United States, and I have a couple of ideas of where they may be.
Mhm. And another thing, Levi,
Yeah.
and this goes to partially the reason I went to Minnesota in the first place. In, I believe it was June of that same year, Timothy Holmseth applied for a trademark on his name. And the address that he used on the application was the UPS post office in Elk River, Minnesota. And he was spotted there by the clerks at the uh, UPS store. And I believe that is how the police got called in the first place, was because being spotted at that UPS store.
Mm-hmm. And I know that town and Elk River and the surrounding area was plastered with his wanted posters. And I know that Timmy bitched about it and complained that the wanted posters were everywhere. Well, don't commit a crime and fail to show
Yeah,
up to
because
court.
what's funny, I was talking to the girl and everything, and what was hanging in their
Quit breaking
break
the
room
law, you
was the
idiot.
poster. The poster was hanging in their break room. I'm sitting there talking to this really tall woman, and I happened to glance over. They got a break room way in the back of the building, and there's the picture of Timmy in the car.
Well, Mert, here's what's funny. You know, Timothy at one time was staying.
Famous.
Timothy at one time was staying with Phil McConnell.
Yeah,
and
that's correct.
From what we know, Phil McConnell does not like to have roommates and guests.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you remember when Cynthia Absug was on the run and staying with them, this was in, I think it was the arrest warrants for Cynthia that were released to the public. In those, Phil McConnell told Cynthia and her crew to leave because the FBI showed up at his house and was looking for Cynthia. And it even says those people even told police that they thought that Phil was lying. He just wanted to get them out of his house. So Phil McConnell doesn't like roommates, and I think that Timothy Holmseth at one time wore out his welcome.
Yeah, he probably doesn't, because it's a really nice house.
And from what I'm hearing, Mert, there were allegations that somebody stole from Phil, and that Timothy and Kirk Pendergrass were cross finger pointing at each other.
That's correct, because in Randi as well.
Yeah, Timothy said Kirk stole, and Kirk said Timothy did.
Yeah, and Randi complained because Kirk had taken a car that he claimed was purchased for him as part of his fee for service, and Randi said, no, that's a, quote, company car and needs to be returned. I don't know whatever happened to that car, but that was one of the big disputes that I remember.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mert, I'm going to get off of here. I didn't mean to chase Ashley and John off, and I'm sorry for taking over your show. Great show.
Oh, that's fine. You're welcome anytime, Levi.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, I guess everybody dropped out here. But anyway, because this is the thing. There's a lot of conflicting stories going on between all these people, and it's all based on information that's been posted on the internet, and it's been posted by these people themselves. Okay, let me go back up and down. I want to read. The paperwork is still open or pending. I came across that app not too long ago. Okay. Oh, okay. I don't know why StreamYard did that. But it's I'm still learning the software. Let me see. Yeah, you were taking there, John. You're back on. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it got weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because I was trying to. All of a sudden, I think Ashley got bumped off too, but for whatever reason. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to close the show down. I've gotten pretty well everything off my chest I was going to get off tonight. Now I've got 10 days on this lawsuit to abide by their conditions, which they didn't give me. And I'm not going to, because they are what are considered public figures. This quote unquote media empire that they own is subject to public scrutiny. Uh, Randi has on her Facebook page that she's an informant to the United States government and to Donald Trump, member of the PPTF, which is, still haven't quite figured out what it is. But because the task force on Twitter said that no, it's not a government agency. Well, if it's not a government agency, then they are acting as government agents because they are reporting things to the United States government. So they are acting as an agent of some kind. And, the fact of the matter is that they are reporting things to the government and to law enforcement, accusing all of us of things that can get our security and lives at risk, because you get some wacko beanie out there who wants to off pedophiles. I'm going to be at the business end of a shotgun one of these days.
Yeah, they're definitely inciting people to do violence, and they're domestic terrorists. I just want to say before I go, Mert, just thank you for all the work you've done. Levi, Alex, Ashley, everybody in the chat room, just keep the pressure on these turds. They are flailing right now. They're committing crimes, crossing state lines. They're just digging the hole deeper and deeper. So keep the pressure on. Call these police departments. Do everything you can, and they will. This will stop and come to an end. But most of all, I want it for you, Mert, because you've been putting up with this crap longer than anybody. And
well, actually, Kim Bacazio's been putting up with it for 12 years, because the kid that got turned down for a date is mad, and he's been after Kim ever since. He said, no, we don't want you as part of our little party here, so just bug out. And he got mad. And he's just running her over the coals and continues to do so. And now Randi has joined in on it. So.
And congratulations on your 1,000 subscribers. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, because that's how Mert's videos get seen. And subscribe, and just keep the pressure on these pieces of crap. And we're all gonna have a party when they're behind bars. So thanks, Mert. We got your back no matter what.
Okay, John. Thanks for coming in, and you're welcome at any time.
All right. Good night.
Good night. And like John said, everybody, if you would please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button. I am at exactly 1,000. It usually takes a month for YouTube to make up their mind with what they're going to do. I was at the 1,000 mark and above for a few weeks, and then for whatever reason, my count went down into around 850 or so, and now it's steadily gone back up again, and I hope it stays there. Basically, the reason I need the 1,000 level and above is so I can get credentialed into the Florida court system. I have far exceeded the number of viewing hours that the court requires, and for whatever reason, they require 1,000 subscribers and above in order for me to get press credentials in the courtroom. It's not really a big need for that, because I cannot live stream from inside the court. I can text inside the court, depending on what the conditions are at each courthouse. I have to double check again down when it's time to do Field McConnell's trial, and I'll have to do the same for Marion County when I go up there for the Blanchard trial. But we have months before either one of these trials come to the fore. I believe that Bill McConnell's trial might be first. I'm going to check on that, and I will advise at a future time. Right now, we're basically just trudging along. I believe the Cynthia Absug case is coming up first in all these cases, so I'll be checking with Colorado on that. Unfortunately, I will not be going up there because rental cars are horribly expensive. What I have to do is double check on what the transportation system is in Colorado to see if I would use public transit or Uber to get from the airport to the courthouse and so forth. Because renting a car right now is way out there. I found that out when the car rental situation came up in Minneapolis. It was the cars there are going well over $100 a day. And the last time I was in Minnesota, there was like $30-40 a day. So it really went up there. Sorry to hear about your neck, peasant. But anyway, I'm going to close this out. Appreciate everybody coming in here. I don't believe I will be on tomorrow, but that's subject to change. If something comes up, I will let you know. Okay. Light rail I can do from, that's, okay, yeah, that's true. I could probably take light rail. I've been in and out of that airport, the new one, but I've never taken the train. I've always had rides, or I did my business inside the airport and then flew right back out again. But that's good to know because that would save me a lot of aggravation. I just get a hotel room near the court and go that route and just make sure I'm close to the rail line. Because I know, the airport's quite a ways out from the city proper, so that would be kind of an expensive Uber ride. Well, I'll look into all that when the time comes and figure out what I'm going to do. So thanks, everybody. Everybody have a good night, and we'll do this again sometime. So until then, have a good one.